Hi everyone, welcome back to this week Weekly Market Update. So, as usual, let's take a look what's happening on the market and things to watch out for the coming weeks as well. So, firstly, let's dive directly to the market itself. So, no more blabbering. Firstly, on the stock itself, we can see on Friday or last week itself is quite happening, especially on Nasdaq. Thursday, all-time shoot up, bounce back. Friday, cover back the losses as well. So we will look into the chart later as well. But let's take a look what is happening on last Friday itself. On last Friday, we can see that all three major indices, some negative, some positively close. So, however, all three major average broke multi-week winning streak. All right, so the S&P lost 1.44%, 5 consecutive week of gains. Nasdaq dropped 1.4%, 8-week. All right, win streak break. All right, and Dow also added a 3-week positive run. So this is basically due to the US recession as well, and also I think Powell came out to give a lot of hawkish statements. All right, so the 2 more interest rate hike for the next 2 years, and he's going very more aggressively to target on the inflation itself. Or otherwise, we can say that actually market is actually oversold positions right now. Is actually profit taking is the profit taking seasons. People try to reduce their exposure, try to put money in the pocket, or we can say that we are actually at an overgreed territory, right? We are at an overgreed right now. When you are at an overgreed, people tend to sell, right? The smart investor will tend to sell because they sell to people who fear to bought, so they will actually sell and sell to those people who want to buy at the high side. So this is basically what happened on last week, and not only on that, last Friday we can see that the regional bank stock closed ugly week, right? As the sector has badly underbought the broader market this week. So KRE is one of the stock that I have been talking about. To me, any downside, any further drop is a dollar averaging cost opportunity for you to enter in. All right, so eventually my portfolio can be right now, which last week I shared a lot of profit, a lot of percentage, as you can see on my Facebook page. But some of them actually turned negative this week. But am I worried? Ultimately, I'm not. All right, because I mentally prepared to do dollar cost averaging in the first place. All right. Second thing, I believe in banking will not die off. Just a noise in between to write it off. So if you are so worried about it and you are not really to go for very very long term investor, what I mean by long term investor, maybe 5 years down the road, you are not mentally prepared to that. Then please stay away. But if you wanted to and you want to stay cool in between, always manage your size position. All right. So by investing in 1,000, for example, drop 1%, how much is it? All right. I mean, if every annual income, or if you have issue, bringing food on the table, right, then please stay aside of doing long-term investment. Long-term investment is that this money shouldn't be the money that you require, all right, within few months down the road. It's actually non-emergency use, then you can use it for long-term investment. Otherwise, please stay away from it. All right, so let's take a look directly to the chart itself. Let's take a look at the economic calendar for next week, things to update as well. So this is the few important thing just to watch out. Monday, I think United holidays. This is July. All right, United States Independent Day, early close. So holiday, United States Independent Day. So I think US market will be a short week if I'm not wrong. Can go and Google it. Then followed by this is the. Let me take a look. 1 second. All right, so no, this is the week after. So this is the week after. We can look at this week instead. All right, so this week, coming week, things to watch out for. I think that is something like very important thing. Yes, Fed Powell have some speaking, so just watch out. It may cause volatility. All right, it's a few days. Thereafter, there's a GDP Q1 GDP announcement. There's an initial jobless claim as well. All right. So if let's say you are very short term, week by week trader, swing day position trader, then you might want to take note. All right, this is all the news that are coming up. So let's go to the chart itself. I didn't mentally prepare on the chart. This is what I draw previously. Let's recap. Where are we standing right now? As you can see for Dow Jones, right, it's actually very obvious. Being resisted by this area 34, 33, 34K or 34.3K, right? So market spike up to 34.5, as you can see. All right, it spiked up to 34.5, and then it dropped back. So it dropped back the previous support, previous resistance level, and then when it dropped back to previous resistance level, it gives you some sentimentals that the market may not be that strong on the penetration of the breakout bullish side. By right, if let's say we are actually at these situations, all right, actually we are this situation, we can see that it's like a breakout, am I right to say? But when it come down, it's already telling you a story, it's a false breakout based on the price action. So therefore, if let's say you have long, by then you should have stop loss, all right? Otherwise, you have more damage to go. So where are we looking at? Basically, if let's say Powell is being so hawkish, market is trying to do some profit taking, try to be more cautious, I think downside may be possible. This is the upside previously, 4 June. 4 June is somewhere here. All right, it really reached where I say from here, 4 June. All right, look at the bottom of the chart. There's a date. All right, this here is the 6th June, 4 June, 5th June. So 2nd June, 5th June, market open, and then it went up to the area which I hit. So right now we are on the 23rd June. All right, so we can see the market, it seems like a sideways movement. It tried to break above the resistance, but got a fake break up, and then it recover back. So if let's say you just want to do a range bound trading, you can actually just draw a line here, and then you are doing some range bounding if you realize. All right, sorry. So it's just a range bound fake, come out, range bound fake, come back. So it's just a range bound. All right, so of course we don't predict what will move, we see what the price will tell us. All right, so that is what I'm trying to say. For now we may see some range bound hovering until a clear signal showing off. All right, until a clear signal showing off. So in case I forget, pardon me, let me just do some quick write up. So sideways trend. All right, so resisted at 34.3K, force break up. All right, so need a clear break to show a better trend signal. All right, otherwise we can do sideways trading. Okay, so this is what I'm saying. So we'll review back weeks later. Then coming on, we'll be looking into Nasdaq. I think I have a couple of things on Nasdaq itself. For Nasdaq wise, give me a second. I think I'll be looking at this. All right, so this is what I said previously. So after it break out, eventually it go to this area. Oh, I didn't draw. I didn't draw here. I didn't draw at other Nasdaq. Let me take a look. 1 second, gentlemen. All right, I didn't draw. So I didn't wrote it down when I do my analysis. All right, so basically, this is what I'm saying. So that's why there's a green color line, as you can see. It might go to the previous resistance level around 15,000 or 15,300. That is what I said. Hopefully, I did say that, or I can't remember. But nevertheless, it break over here, and you can see that this is on the Friday. So on Thursday, we can see that the market actually recover back. All right, very bullish, up 1.18% from the bottom and carved the previous candle. But then subsequently on Friday itself, it's not that optimistic again, right? So right now we can see that this is a very good resistance level, 15,300. So if there is no way of penetration, the over market sentiment is quite sour. We may see a slightly drop in the tech sector itself. But nevertheless, we do not predict, right? Because right now we are still on the uptrend. So people who want to go the inverse directions, just be careful on your sizing, your position sizing. Anything wrong, you have to cut. All right, because right now we are trading on the uptrend itself. So by right, technically a pullback is for you to buy in. All right, so if you want to go for some reversal, be careful on your positions. All right, so since then I will then write here 25th June. All right, resistance at 15,300. Okay, so then all right, resistance at 15,300. So market is trending upside. So for anti-trend, manage your sizing positions. All right, so this is what we have to take note of. Okay, so if you ask me my view on Nasdaq, I think uh, I'm biased on the downside at the moment. So I will just write here, bias on downside due to oversold and profit taking may come in. Alright, so this is what I feel. I'll just return here as a reminder to myself, as a reminder to the audience out there. Alright, so then we will revisit later on, maybe 1 or 2 weeks later, and see where does Nasdaq move on. Next, let's go into a couple of stocks. KRE, which I mentioned, right? KRE. So if let's say you are holding on KRE, yes, it's not a very fantastic candle, especially on the weekly side, but do watch out. This is my DCA price level, 39.40, 35.27. All right, so if let's say you go to 39, which is the first bullet, people who have missed out, it can be your first bullet to enter it. All right, first bullet doesn't mean you need to throw your whole war chest, your whole saving into it. All right, you can partially you divide how much you want to invest in this ETF itself. For example, I like to invest 20,000 throughout this ETF of these 3 bullet. Then each investment, when I go in it, I will invest by 7,000. All right, so it's up to you how you want to decide your DCA. Go and learn a proper DCA, and then you know how to apply to it. All right, so if let's say it continue to drop, then to me it's an opportunity to grab in, and then I'll just hold for years. Okay, so this is KRE. Nothing to worry about, like I say, it's because we are looking at long term, right? Noise in between, we'll just stay aside. So this is upon if you are agreed that banking sector will not fail in this world, all right? Because this is a regional banking. If let's say the whole thing collapse, the whole world will be, losing confidence in the banking sector, and that will be a very, very black swan event, right? So ultimately, it's up to you. Just like when you're investing in the ETF or S&P 500, so as you see, S&P 500 is perpetually going upwards, right? So if let's say you do not have the faith in it, of the economy, on these financials, technology, or the exchange itself, then why do people do long-term investment? All right, so this is how you look into it. Next thing we are looking into Bitcoin. Bitcoin have some spike up. All right, so this is what I wrote many months ago. It's April. So after broke up, then I think I mentioned to say that break up, then we might see a flag. All right, a flag to go higher. So after many months, it pulled back to the previous sub resistance. Can you see the price pull? I didn't really monitor Bitcoin, so sorry to say I didn't trade, but sometimes I'm used to monitor just to give a glimpse update on the market itself. So after it broke up, all right, so we are looking for the next break after the flag, but it didn't happen, and the price come back to where it previously resisted, become support, and then it bounce up. So just nice, if let's say you are heavily eyeing on Bitcoin, this is actually one of the opportunity you should have entered and buy on it. Okay, otherwise, if let's say you're still holding here since then, congratulations, it may come back to 32 or 33,000. All right, don't worry, it will be there one day, but of course, how long it take for this time round, it's not that bad. Just a few months ago, a few months later. So it's up to you, people who actually trade on a trader basis. Once it fail to break up, it come down, it should cut. Then this is another resistance for you to buy. So you are actually saving yourself with a couple of level away. So if let's say it break below, you cut here. So when you come here, you buy here. So this is the part you save. So this is the trader mentality. All right, so this is how individual trader play or individual investor trade. All right, let's move on to Chargepoint. I think I mentioned this before. What did I say? What did I say? All right, what did I say? Let's take a look. Oops. I don't like it. I didn't write again. Okay, go ahead and look back my previous. Let me see on my record. I think I wrote something that please do not buy into Chargepoint anymore. I remember clearly I did mention to not go into Chargepoint anymore, or if let's say there is any bounce back for you to sell. At this point of time, I couldn't find any record. I did remember I said before. Ultimately, why my stand is to not enter Chargepoint. That is when Tesla have partner with Ford, if I remember correctly, on the charging port, EV need charging port, and Chargepoint main business is the charging port, right? So since Tesla is going to bite on this pie of cakes, it definitely will affect Chargepoint. Am I right to say? And you are competing against a big brother. So I think I hate it when I did right. So I think I did mention over here. Yes, over here. I think I did mention over here. Do not enter into Chargepoint, or when it bounce back, remember to close this position. Why? After when I announced, I remember clearly the market go up. That I'm like slapping myself. I tell the market, that is my standpoint, but market go up. And if let's say it keep going up, so I actually ask people to sell at the bottom. I will slap myself, right? So I believe a good company is that you need a good income. That means a good earning, a good sales, a good business, right? So if fundamentally your business is being affected, no matter what, it will be affected somehow. So I don't know what causes the market to come down. This is just my one side bias mentality. So, or based on charting itself. So we can see on the weeks after it spike up, the market break and broke even lower as well. Alright, so that is why I love this company, Chargepoint. I think previously I think it's because this is like a huge market company that actually handle Chargepoint itself. There's other many small one, but I think this is a big one. But since the bigger brother wants to step in and play on this, take a bite on this, then I will just stay aside. Or otherwise, you can see I say forming bullish divergence. I think it's a good time to go in. I'm on the bullish side itself, but then I give a call on bearish is because fundamentally it's being affected. All right. So if you are still holding it, you may consider to find another point to exit until the new business come in for Chargepoint. Next thing, let's visit some of the counter. JD. I think JD is barely affected. We will look into Hang Seng Index as well. So the market, after I post, I'm on 20% profit. The market actually whacked me, slapped my face after a 5 days drop. And then right now I'm on the negative again. So am I panic? I'm not, because I actually wrote this, right? I actually wrote this. Can you see? I am on the direction of DCA for JD, and I feel kind of like confidence. But of course, investment, nothing is 100% guaranteed returns. All right. So always invest the amount that you can digest in. All right. Always invest in the amount you can digest in. Oh, pardon me, guys. I'm so sorry. To take a minute of your time. I just want to write it here just in case I forget. Alright. Mentioned not to enter Chargepoint again due to business affected by Tesla. Alright, so I just write a simple one to remind myself, alright, to remind that I actually touched on it again. So JD itself, yes, I'm on the red, to be frank, so I'm waiting for the next level for me to DCA. I'm totally fine on it. If let's say you are looking on trading, by then you should know where is the level for you to basically is to cut. Alright, so Hang Seng itself bounced back, kind of like disappointed, because I'm looking at the next resistance, which is the 78.6%, which is 21,000. So what happened on Hang Seng Index after it broke up? Alright, we should see a pullback and then we should see come back. But the pullback did not support well enough, penetrate below again. So we are back to this down trend line resistance again. So if let's say by next week it failed to recover back, alright, forming a higher of the previous low, alright, higher of the previous low. If you fail to come back and it continue to drift down, it's not a really good sign after that. Alright, so just be cautious for Hang Seng Index itself. Okay, so let's move on to, oops, too much. Okay, let me see what else. US oil. Okay, I think this will be the last for today. Yes, US oil. Well catch, well catch. All right, so US oil, I am biased on the downside. All right, I'm biased on the downside. 67 is where I mentioned close below 67. We will see is buy on the downside if the weekly candle. Let's take a look on the weekly candle itself. All right, the weekly candle is showing a great sign at the moment. Close is at 69.47. Okay, so market for the last week of oil, last week for oil itself is not performing that good. So I think I am still on the bias. So I will just write 25th June, continue bias holding. Sorry, 25th June, bias on bearish. All right, bias on bearish, continue to be biased on bearish. All right, so this is what I mentioned. Okay, so at least I tell myself what to take note of. Lastly is the Singapore counter I mentioned last week. Let's take a look where it's standing. All right, SATS does not perform well on last Friday. All the pullback come back. Why? Because ultimately the big brother, the Japan, as you can see, let me show you the guys. Nikkei 225. I hardly touch on it. All right, hardly. So Nikkei 225 daily. Right, as you can see. So let's take a look on the candle itself. Oops, how come I can't look? 1 second, gentlemen. I hardly see, but let's take a look. Alright, so for Nikkei, you can see Japan didn't perform well on the daily itself. It dropped 1.45% after the very oversold level. So it's the Asia market. It will definitely affect the Asia market. Hong Kong is red, Japan is red, Singapore will be red. After all, we are just a small brother, right? Spilled milk over. So yes, just be cautious if you are holding SATS. If it drop below, that will not be the good sign. Where do I be by below? For trader wise, mentally prepared. All right, drop below 250 will not be a good sign. Ultimately, hopefully it can be hold with the last support, which is the lowest around 230, right around 230. But for long-term investment, if you believe in this company, then you may want to ride on it. I think mainly their gap is due to they actually MAA some company over previously that caused a huge drop. So otherwise, just be cautious of your counter itself. All right, so that's all for this week weekly market update. Hopefully you guys learn something today, pick up something today. Remember to share and like and subscribe to my video as well. Lastly, coming months on July, I may not post any update. I will be away for overseas, so wait for me to come back. Take a 1 month break. If I does post a video, will be good. I hope I can commit as well. Otherwise, I will write a lot of stuff in the Telegram group. So remember to join me there. All right, see you guys 1 month later or hopefully next week. Goodbye.